If you're doing over $1 million in revenue and you're still wondering where the hell all my money went, stick around, because in this episode, I'm going to be breaking down the 7 biggest places contractors lose profit without even realizing it. Hey, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Brad Hebner. I'm a licensed general contractor, author of the Contractor Profit Blueprint, and also a business coach who helps contractors who are overwhelmed make more money and get more freedom in their business. Let's get into the show. Today, we're talking about 7 areas of your business where you're losing profit and you don't even realize it. A lot of us think that revenue is a sign of success. And honestly, it's not. Revenue is for vanity. Everyone online wants to talk about revenue this, and I built a $10 million company in $20 million. And, you know, I built $1 million in 1 year, and they talk about revenue, because it's all vanity. It makes it sound really good. It makes you sound like your business is doing well. I can't tell you how many contractors I talk to that are doing 7-figure businesses, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, $5 million, $6 million, even $8 million. They have no idea how much money they're making. They don't even know where the money is going. They have no clue, right? And they may even be losing money and not even realizing it. We can't use the Santa Claus accounting methodology. You know, we can't wait until the end of the year and figure out how much money Santa Claus brings us. That's not a reality. We have to know where it's going. So here's 7 areas you're losing money and you don't even realize it. Now, before we get into that, revenue is not the same as profit, right? Everything I talk about is profit. How much money are you actually making? We talk about gross profit and talk about net profit. Gross profit is the easiest thing to measure to determine whether or not you have a healthy business. Now, you can make a lot of gross profit, but if you have a very inflated overhead, that's going to remove that, right? But generally, the simplest, easiest thing to measure to determine whether or not we're doing well is our gross profit. But let's talk about net profit for a second, because you could have a $750,000 revenue business at a 15% net, and that equals $112,500 in net profit. Now, this example is not telling whether or not the owner is making money, right? The owner may be making $100,000 and the company is making $100,000, $112,000. That's great. But you could be at $2 million in revenue and only have a 3% net profit, which is $60,000. And again, I know a lot of contractors in this space. I know contractors making multiple millions of dollars, multiple 7 figures, and they don't actually pay themselves anything. Now, they may take money out. They may take draws out to pay bills. They may take draws out to, pay for a little bit of things around the house or whatever, but they don't actually have a salary. They don't actually have a set amount of money they're making. And at the end of the year, when they do their draws, they're still not even drawing out that much. They're drawing out the minimum amount required for them to live. There's no point in owning a business if that's what your goal is. If your goal is to just take out the minimum amount of money that you need to live off of. The goal of a business is to provide financial freedom for you and give you more opportunities. So lick number 1, right off the bat, bad pricing. You're just simply not charging enough. You're not estimating enough, right? I know people that sell jobs that are unprofitable before they start. Remove all of the production side of it. The job was unprofitable before they started because they don't know their numbers. They don't know that they need to have, they need to make $800 a day just to cover overhead. They don't know that they need to sell $2,500 a week just to cover overhead. And they're selling jobs, with materials and labor for like $3,000, and the labor is $600. Like they've lost $100 and they make no money because they don't understand their numbers. So right off the bat, pricing is the number one thing that's going to cause you issues in your business. It's also the number one thing that I fix in contracting businesses is pricing. By far, the number one issue is pricing. You need to fix your pricing correctly to be able to make the right amount of money, right? So underestimated labor, bad material markup, missing overhead, pricing based on competitors. I hate the word competitor. Guys, you don't have competitors. I'll fight you to the death. You do not have competitors in your market. You are the competitor. You're the competitor to yourself because your limiting beliefs are what's it's making you think that you have to compete with other people. You don't. You do not compete with other people. There may be a small percentage, like very, very small, like 5%, where competition matters. It's nothing nowhere near the where you think it is. It's not 50%, it's not 80, it's not 100, it's like 5% that competition matters. So for this purpose, competition doesn't matter because 5% is negligible. It's not enough. It doesn't matter. So pricing based on competitors, discounting out of fear, huge. I don't have any work, Brad. I had to give them a discount. No, you didn't. You don't know that you wouldn't have gotten that job if you would have stuck to your pricing. But because you're scared, you discounted out of fear. And now you got a job at a discount that you don't want to do for a rate that you don't want to do. And you missed out on an opportunity to sell a job that you would have gotten profit on. So fear helps or keeps a lot of people from being able to price jobs correctly. You cannot outproduce a job you sold wrong. Let me say this again. You cannot outproduce a job that you sold incorrectly at the wrong price point. I don't care how efficient you are. You cannot outproduce a bad job, a bad sold job. You cannot. And a lot of you are stuck in 6, 7, 8 months worth of bad sold jobs. Not days, months. Some of you have 6 months on the books at bad sold job prices. And now you have to fulfill those. So for the next 6 months, you're not going to be making any money. That's a terrible place to be. Do not do that, guys. It's far better to sit at home and lose money watching TV than to go work 40 hours a week and lose money. Far better to sit at home and do nothing. Don't sell jobs out of desperation. Number 2, labor. Your fully burdened labor rate. Most contractors do not have a fully burdened labor rate. I have a labor burden worksheet you can purchase. It's $39. You can go and get that off the website. It's well worth it. It will tell you exactly what your cost is. It tells you, if you have vacations, if you have training, if you have meetings, if you have uniforms, cell phones, vehicles, all the things that you don't consider that should go into your labor rate. It will help you figure all that out. And so a lot of guys, they have a $30 an hour employee and they think, they pay them $30 an hour and they go, oh yeah, we know we have FICA. We have to pay the, insurance and all that stuff for government. So it's like $36 an hour. That's not what your that's not what your employee is costing you. Your employee costs more than that. Just simply meetings. If you have one weekly meeting for an hour every week, right? Say 2 weeks off for vacation. So 50 meetings a year times 1 hour, that's 50 hours. That's not time accounted for. So if you have a 1 hour meeting every week for one employee and you're paying him $30 an hour, so 30, right, times 50, that's how much money you've lost just in meetings, $1,500 just in meetings for the year. Then you have other things to add on top of that. It adds up quick. So the worst thing you can do is have not have a fully burdened labor rate. So your labor rate is not fully burdened. And so you're charging, $40 an hour, but really your employee is costing you $45 an hour. So you're losing $5 an hour on one employee. If you have 10 employees, that could be hundreds of dollars an hour because you're not factoring in their fully burdened labor. The labor rate sheet, the fully burdened labor rate sheet, will fix that instantly. It's worth every penny. It's $39, guys. It's nothing. Go to the Hammer and Grind website. We'll put a link in the show notes. You can get it for $39. It's worth every penny. If you don't think it's worth it, let me know. I'll give your money back. Number 3, leak. Scope creep. Here's where all my people pleasers come in. And I have several clients in the Profit Club that are people pleasers. And we talk about this a lot. Matter of fact, they were like 9:30 at night last night. They were texting each other in the group chat about, opportunities where people wanted them to cave, and my people pleasers stood up for themselves, right? Because we work on that in there. We work on not just business stuff. We actually work on personal things, on, making you better as a human being and as an owner. So scope creep, while you're here, Brad, everybody gets those, while you're here, and then the people pleasers is like, oh, I want to make the client happy. Let me do this thing. Guys, super simple. I'm going to give you a super simple way to solve this right now. When someone says, while you're here, would you be able to do this, this, and this? All you have to do, right off the cuff, not even think about it. Absolutely, let me get you a price for that. That's it. That's all you got to say. Absolutely, let me get you a price for that. Oh, you mean you won't do it while you're since you're already here, you can't do that for me? Well, I would love to do that for you, but that wasn't part of our original estimate. So let me get you a price. It'd be much cheaper to do it while we're here, for sure. Just give me a minute and I'll get you a price on that. That's all you got to do. They're either going to value your time or they're not. And as soon as you say, oh yeah, it's only going to take 5 minutes, let me take care of that for you. Boom, you just open the door. Now there's 5 other things they want you to do while you're here. You have to learn how to say no. You have to learn how to value your time, guys. Also, scope creep, employees giving away work. Your employees doing that. It's one thing as an owner if you do something for free. It's another thing if your employees are doing stuff for free. Well, it was only going to take 5 minutes, boss, and they were really nice and we wanted to take care of them. You have to have that culture in your business and your standards and make sure they understand that. Undocumented changes or change orders or not documenting change orders. I know some of you will do a change order, right? Let me get you a price on that, quote, a change order for $500, right? It's going to be a $500 change order. You don't document it because you're, quote, busy, right? Or you'll do it when you get back to the office, which you won't because you'll forget. And then at the end of the job, that change order never got put in and never got created. And now you lost $500 because you didn't actually do the change order. You didn't document it right then when you were supposed to. So that's part of scope creep because you're not documenting that, right? The small extras compound, guys. They compound. 5 minutes here, 20 minutes here, an hour there. At the end of a 3-month project, it compounds into hundreds and thousands of dollars, right? It's one thing if you're there for a day and you spend an extra 5 minutes, not a big deal. If you're there for 3 months and you spend an extra 10 hours, that's a big deal, right? Small extras compound. The difference between intentional generosity and accidental free work. You can be generous. One of the things that we would do is fix things. So I don't know what the percentage is, but an overwhelming majority of homes, their front doors or back doors or garage doors don't lock very good. You got to wiggle them or you got to pull them out just enough, a 1/4 inch so you can lock the door or push it in super hard. Like there's some kind of, it's settled, it's changed, whatever. It doesn't work very good. We would spend an extra, couple minutes to fix their lock. We wouldn't tell them. This is a generosity thing. Also, because it makes our job less annoying. If we're going in and out of a door 100 times a day and we got to mess with the stupid door lock to get it to close, and it makes our job more difficult. So a lot of times we just fix that. It takes a couple minutes or so. We fix it. We don't even tell the homeowner. It's like a little Easter egg for them. That's different. That's a generosity, intentional generosity versus doing accidental or free work, right? We don't want to do that. So if you're giving something away, know exactly what you're giving away. Like if you're going to give something away, you should know the cost of that. And it should weigh against your overall price. You should know what that is. So most of you don't even know what you're doing. You don't even know what your employees are giving away. All the little extras. And this isn't about nickeling and diming people. It's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you had a clear scope of work. You gave a price. The scope of work wants to change. They want you to do extras. Now you're going to charge them for that, right? That's different. We're not nickeling and diming people. All right, number 4 leak. Callbacks and rework. Sometimes we cut corners. We got to, quote, get this job done because we undersold it and we're over on time. Happens all the time. So what do? We create a shortcut. We shortcut it, and then we got to come back and fix it because we shortcutted it. It would have been cheaper if we would have spent an extra hour to finish it. Now we got to come back and fix it. So, callbacks are not just labor and materials. That's not the full cost. You have truck, fuel, scheduling, disruption, opportunity costs. They're over there doing this 5-hour repair when they could be doing something else for 5 hours making money. You have office time. Who's going to deal with all that? Reputation, customer experience may take a hit, which can cost you thousands of dollars. You get a bad review. We don't think about those things. That's a hidden cost. You shortcut something, you have to go back and fix it, and you maybe you don't fix it right, or maybe they got to pull your teeth to to get you to fix it, they have a negative experience. They go out and tell 10, 15, 20 people, don't hire you. Even if they never leave a bad review, they go tell people, don't hire you. That's 10, 15, 20 people that you missed out on. That one shortcut, that one rework or callback could potentially cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars that you don't even know. You'll never know it because they won't tell you. Hey, just a quick time out from the show. If you're a frustrated contractor who's dealing with low profit margins, stuck working on the tools every day, or doing free estimates for people who are never going to hire you in the first place, I invite you to my private contractor community, the Profit Club, where contractors just like you are adding 2 to 3 times more profit each year without producing any more jobs and finally getting completely off the tools to never do another free estimate again. So if you're ready to increase your profits, stop doing free estimates, and get off the tools, then all you have to do is click the link in the show notes to learn more about the Profit Club and see how it can easily 2 to 3 times the cash in your pocket, give you a proven sales process that will convert more jobs with ease and get you off the tools once and for all. And the best part is you can do all of this without having to produce more jobs than you currently are. Click the link to learn more. Now let's get back to the show. So callbacks and rework are a big leak. Leak number 5, overhead. So I was talking earlier about, you can have a good gross profit percentage and then not have any money left over because your overhead is bloated. So sometimes, and I did this early on, I went to hire my first employee and I was like, oh, he's got to have a vehicle. He has to be professional. He's got to have a vehicle. So I went out and bought a vehicle that was used. Spent a bunch of money on my credit card, getting the racks and stuff built in there, buying all the tools. So I spent several thousands of dollars on a credit card for all the tools and stuff to get the vehicle equipped. Then the van had a bad lifter, and I don't know what it was. A year or two later, it blew the engine. So then I got to replace a new engine. All of that came out of the fact that I thought I needed this van right away. And so I bloated my overhead. And what it did is it sucked all the cash flow out of my business. I had no cash flow because all of the extras was going towards these equipment and things that I thought I needed. So having extra trucks, having a shop you don't need, having extra software that you think is going to help you but doesn't actually help you, or you don't actually use it, additional office staff that you may not need, equipment, subscriptions, management, lifestyle, vanity experiences disguised as business experiences. Or business expenses, rather. I'm going to go to this conference, air quotes, conference, and spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 because it's going to make my business better. Really, it's just an excuse for you to go and, get drunk or do stupid crap with your buddies and not really learn or take anything from that conference and come back and implement it. It's just a reason for you to go do something. Or, oh, I need a break, so let me go on this fishing trip. Let me schedule this fishing charter down in Florida with the team for 3 days. When you can't afford it, guys, here's a sidebar. If you are not financially stable and financially profitable in your business, you should not be giving out bonuses. You should not be giving out profit sharing. You should not be giving out incentives and things to your employees because you think that's what's going to make them happy. Your business needs to be healthy first before you spend that money. I know you think it's going to make it better and you're going to take care of your team. And yes, I want you to take care of your team, but I want you to be profitable before you spend money on your team, before you take care of them. Don't give them that $1,000 bonus because you think they deserve it when you can't even make payroll a week later, right? Use your brain here a little bit. If you do it right, you will be able to give your team and take care of them really good. You have to get there first before you can pull them up, right? It's much easier to pull someone up in their life than it is to push them from the bottom. So you have to get there first, and then you can pull them up and help them. Same with charities, by the way. Those of you that are like, I don't want to rip people off, Brad. I don't want to charge too much because I'm not a scammer and I don't want to screw people. That's your limiting belief, right? You think you're doing charity by not charging too much. The reality of it is anybody who gives a charity, who donates, they become successful and rich first, and then they give away a lot more money. You're not going to be successful by giving away a majority of your work because you don't want to, quote, screw people over because you think it's the right thing to do. And then you give away so much work that you never become successful. I promise you, if you become successful and rich first, you will be able to do 10 times, maybe even 50 times the amount of good in the world than what you can by trying to give away stuff for free while you're trying to grow up, while you're trying to, go up in your success. Get there first, then help everyone else. Put your mask on first, put your oxygen mask on first, then help your kids. There's a specific reason why planes tell you to do that. You run your business the same way. You become successful first, and then you help everyone else as much as you can. You don't help everyone else while you're trying to be successful. So here's a question for you. If your revenue dropped by 20% tomorrow, what expenses would suddenly look stupid? You may be thinking that these expenses are worth it. And I talk about people buying trucks all the time. One of the dumbest investments that owners make, hey, I sold a bunch of jobs. Let me go buy a $150,000 F450 dually, put some new, 20-inch rims and big tires on there, get my little spikes on the front wheels so they stick out so I'm cool, make everything look awesome. Now I have a $1,500 a month truck payment because last month we were killing it. And then this month, the phone stops ringing. And now you're screwed because you have an additional $1,500 a month you have to pay. If 20% of your revenue dropped off today, what expenses tomorrow look stupid? What are those expenses? And those are the ones you need to look at cutting out. Because looking successful costs a lot of contractors money. Looking successful will cost you big time. Being successful, I would rather be successful and not look successful than look successful and not be successful. Broke people are always trying to look rich, and rich people are always trying to look broke. That's just how it is. Like, don't try to impress by buying stupid crap you don't need. Number 6 is production, leaks in production. All right, so jobs take longer than they estimated. They supply house runs. We got to go to the store 18 times. I told you one time about a story. We did a basement remodel. At the end of the job, I collected all the receipts. I had 20 receipts from Lowe's. On this job, we went to Lowe's 20 times. Talk about losing money. Dumb. Poor scheduling. Some of you are terrible at scheduling. Some of you are very unrealistic, and you have no concept of time management, and you think you're going to get all of this stuff done, and you overestimate what your team is capable of completing in that time. And so you jam a bunch of stuff in there, and then you're stressing everybody out because you suck at time management. Like, you don't know how to schedule. So you're poor at scheduling. For some of you, you need to learn how to schedule better. You need to hire someone who can do the scheduling for you because you're not very good at it. Bad sales or bad production handoff. We're not doing a good job of handing off stuff. No labor hour budget. Like, you're not setting this is our labor hour. Well, how many hours we have for labor, and making sure your project managers and your foremen know what that is. Hey, John, for this job, we got 200 man hours. Make it happen. Versus, hey, John, here's this job. Go do it. John doesn't know how many hours it takes. It may take him 200 hours. It may take him 300 hours. He just knows he's got to get the job done. So making sure your team knows what the budget is, their hour budget or the labor budget. And then PM constantly firefighting. You or your PM is constantly firefighting versus taking the time it takes in the beginning to properly plan the job. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance or something like that. So a budget nobody sees isn't a budget, it's a wish. You sell a job for $50,000, you go to your team and say, hey, team, build this. That's just a wish that they're going to complete on it within the $50,000 budget or, the sale price. If you go to your team and say, look, here's the job, we sold it, here's our material cost, here's our labor cost. We got $25,000 in labor and materials. This is our man hours. Make sure we stay under it. Something comes up, let me know. That's different than, hey, go do this job. It just take as long as it takes. All right, leak number 7. We got to wrap this up here. Leak number 7, the owner, you are the problem. You are the leak, right? So you're the one doing the discounts because you're usually selling. You're the one avoiding accountability because you don't want to lose your team member. He comes in late every day, but you don't really want to lose him because he's a good guy, which is the same as keeping bad employees, keeping bad customers, right? I had a call on our Profit Accelerator call this week, which is my entry level coaching program for people that need help, getting started. I had a HVAC technician who is like, hey, I got this guy owes me like $5,000 and he's always late. Like he's over, 60 days now. I need the money, right? I'm like, well, why do you tolerate that? Like, this isn't just the one time. This is a reoccurring issue with this client. And so I'm like, look, once you settle this, then the next time he calls you, you simply say, I'm sorry, we're not going to do work for you anymore. He's going to be like, why? Because you never pay on time. Well, I didn't know that was a big deal. Well, it is. Like, I need to be able to pay my employees and my overhead, blah, blah, blah. Now you have control over that customer and you can decide whether or not you want to put parameters in place. You can say, look, the only way I want to do work for you is if I get 50% up front. And then you have to pay the other 50% for this, whatever it is, immediately when the job's over. Like, you now have control of that. And if the customer's like, well, I'm not going to do that, then you say, see you later, buddy. Good luck. You have that choice. You're the owner. So don't keep bad customers. Emotional purchases. Oh man, this gets me all the time. I used to buy tools like crazy. I love going to tool stores and just looking at tools that I don't even need and just buying stuff. That was my vice, was buying tools to make me feel like I was being successful because I could afford to, quote, buy all these tools. It was dumb. So those are emotional purchases. A huge one, not job costing. You have to job cost. Go get my job costing worksheet. It's free. If you go to the podcast website, the new one, the hammerandgrindpodcast.com, there's a little pop-up that say, hey, get my free job costing worksheet. You can download it right there. That one's free and it's super powerful. Refusing to delegate, because you're the only one that can do it. Nobody wants to work as hard as you. Nobody understands common sense. Sound familiar? Yeah, those are you problems. Those are not employee problems. Those are you problems. Loaner doing low value work. I get on to my clients all the time about this. You should not be going and getting materials, period. Full stop, no excuses. You, as the owner, should not be getting materials. Have it delivered for $50. I don't care. Find a Uber to go get it. Pay your lowest employee to go do that. Your lowest paid employee to go do that. Find someone else to go do that. You should not be doing that. Stop doing the low value work in your business. Sometimes you're asking where your profit went, and you're where it went. You are where the profit went. All of your dumbness, all of your stupid decisions, all of your wasting money on fishing trips, all of the new vehicle you have to have, you are where your profit went. The beauty of this, though, it may seem like I'm getting onto you. The beauty of this is that you are the one that can fix it. You have the ultimate control. You can change this. If it was somebody else, it would be harder because then you would have to change them. You would have to fire them or whatever. But because you're the one that's making all the mistakes, you get to fix it. It's super easy. That's all you got to do is take ownership. Take ownership and then become aware. Become aware of what's happening around you. And you will see, finally, your eyes will open and you will see what's really going on in your business. And it's you. I promise you, it's you. So the $100,000 leak, if we add all these things up, I'm going to show you. If you're $1 million contractor, you got a pricing issue where you're underpricing by 2%. Really, you're probably way more than that. But let's just say pricing is 2%. Labor is 2%. Scope creep, 1%. Callbacks, 1%. Overhead, 2%. Production, 2%. That's only 10% leakage. Doesn't seem too terrible, but on $1 million company, that's $100,000. That's $100,000 leak in your boat. That's a ginormous hole in your boat. It's causing your ship to sink. That's the word I'm looking for. It's causing your ship to sink. And you're too worried about, looking good, like polishing the deck on top because you want everybody to think that your ship looks really nice. And you have a huge hole in the bottom and your ship's sinking. Go tighten up your ship, guys. Go fix the leaks, the profit leaks in your business. These are things you should be worrying about. Not looking, trying to impress people is not what you should be worried about. It's not. Fix your ship. Fix your business. Fix you. All right, so here's a little assignment for you. I want you to go pull the last 5 jobs you completed. Now, I've told you guys before to go do job costing. I want you to look at the jobs and I want you to compare. What's the sold price? What's the estimated versus actual? By the way, this is job costing. What's the estimated versus actual labors or hours and materials? How many change orders did you actually do? And how many did you record? How many free extras did you do? Like, think out loud. How many did we do? Oh, we fixed this. We fixed that. Did you have any callbacks or rework? Right? Note that. And then note your gross profit dollars and margin, what the percentage is. Right? And then you go, where did the estimate stop matching reality? I estimated this job to do this. This is what actually happened over here. At what point did the estimate not match reality? And then you can go back and fix that. Right? You can fix those things. This is the number one reason why you should be job costing, is so you know where the problems are so you can fix it. So for most of you, it's a pricing problem that will solve a majority of your issues. That's one of the first things we fix in the Profit Club is your pricing. We want you charging what you should be charging. Then we work on the other stuff. Then we work on systems and we work on hiring and leadership and all that junk. But we have to fix the pricing first, because that will fix a majority of the leaks as well in the process. So remember, you have to go through and analyze all of these things in your business and make sure that you don't have these huge leaks. I promise you, if you go back and actually look at your business, you will see these. They will stick out like a sore thumb. You will have that oh shit moment that I did. You mean we went to Lowe's 20 times on this one job? You will have that moment if you go back and actually look at what happened on a job in your business. So that's the 7 leaks, 7 areas in your business that are causing massive leaks. In that way, at the end of the year, you're like, where's my money? I made so much money. We doubled our revenue, Brad, and I still don't have any money. Yes, this is very common. Even though you doubled your revenue, you doubled the amount of leaks because you didn't fix those leaks. The leaks are still there. So we got to go in and fix those. All right. The next episode, we're going to be diving deeper into number 1, which is estimating. So your job was unprofitable before you even started. And how does that happen? So make sure you come back next week to pick up that episode, why your job was unprofitable and what you can do to fix it. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Again, you can go to the website, hammerandgrindpodcast.com to get all the episodes. You can get the free job costing worksheet. We'll put the link to the labor burden worksheet in the show notes so you can get that. You can also go to my other website, the hammerandgrind.com, which is my business website, to get the labor burden worksheet. But we'll put links in the show notes to all those so you guys can just go click that. Either way, hammerandgrind.com, hammerandgrindpodcast.com will get you there. And I appreciate you hanging out with me. And remember, until next time, profit is not a dirty word.